Hey guys, my name is Odysseus Andrianos, and today we're going to talk about what's going on in society and how we wake up the world. Now, what I'm talking about when we're saying wake up the world is a lot of people say, oh, I'm woke, bro, are you woke? And the truth is, nobody's really woke. What's actually happening is we are living in an unconscious society. This isn't just my opinion. This is from years and years of studying. G.I. Gurdjieff, a guru 100 years ago, is saying we live in a wakeful state of sleep. We are literally living in a world where everybody is unconscious. Now, what I mean by unconscious, and this is why I'm so pumped up about teaching what I teach, which is shadow work, is what we do when we do shadow work is we make the unconscious conscious. We actually acknowledge our wounds. We acknowledge our pain. We are currently living in a society where so many people are living from an unconscious state. What that means is your trauma, your wounds, your generational trauma, your mommy and your daddy, your grandpappy and your grandmammy, all of their trauma has been passed down from generation to generation, even past our grandma and grandpa, has been passed down from generation to generation. And we as a society, here's the bigger issue. We are living in a trauma-based society. Trauma-based. Our entire society is based on trauma, especially now with COVID. Honestly, it's never been a better time to be a shadow work coach because people are like, maybe I should actually work on healing all my stuff because I'm stuck in my home and all of it's coming up. But the goal is to move from a trauma-based society to a trauma-informed society. That's what being woke is all about. When we say that, like, oh, are you woke? The truth is, if you haven't faced your trauma, if you haven't faced your unconscious wounds, if you haven't faced your shadow, you're completely asleep. I'm like, that's not a judgment. That is an observation. Part of the word observation is to serve. And that is my goal in my work that I do, is to serve you the truth, the facts, the honesty, the rhetoric, that you are living your life in an unconscious state. Your repressed trauma from your childhood, the sexual abuse, the mental abuse from your mammy and your pappy or your friends, right? The emotional trauma that you buried into your unconscious mind. It is running your life completely. It's completely running your life. So the whole goal here, this is what we do. Like I said, we're moving from a trauma-based society to a trauma-informed society. The first step is to actually acknowledge our pain. We have to acknowledge our pain, and when we acknowledge it, then we create a new state of awareness. When we have that new state of awareness, we can recognize our triggers, the things that trigger us. Once we recognize our triggers, we begin to access that pain and begin to integrate it back online, because instead of repressing, suppressing, and denying that trauma, we can actually acknowledge the trauma, negotiate with our shadow, because the shadow is just a repressed aspect of the self. So like, my name's Odysseus Andrianos. There are many aspects of myself. My trauma in my childhood, I've talked to shamans and they say, you have a fractured part of your soul that happened in your childhood, a fractured part of your soul, and it's buried in the darkness. And unless you go in there and actually dig it out, face it, acknowledge it, heal it, and negotiate with it, these repressed aspects of yourself, then it's going to keep running your life unconsciously. This is why people don't stop. I was a fitness coach for years. People don't struggle with diet or exercise. People don't struggle with diet and exercise. You're not having a hard time with your diet. You're not having a hard time working out. You're having a hard time loving yourself because you keep repressing your trauma. You keep saying, oh, I'm not traumatized. I'm fine. I'm going to keep watching TV, playing video games, smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, engaging in porn, gambling. And there's nothing wrong with any of those things, unless you wake up and recognize that your unconscious world is completely running your life. So that's the goal here, guys. We're moving from a trauma-based society to a trauma-informed society. And if you're ready to do that work, if you're ready to dive into that work, that's what I'm here to do. We're healing the planet by acknowledging our unconscious, and that's how we don't pass our trauma onto our kids. So thanks for watching. If you check this out, please share, because people need this message. This is some very heavy stuff. It's very real. Thank you.